Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Cam Christo and this is the Best of Both Worlds campaign. Things are looking up. The anti-air, the self-propelled, what is it called? You can tell I don't use it much, to my great detriment. Is it just called self-propelled anti-air? Self-propelled anti-aircraft gun, yes, is doing sterling work with their lovely air attack. We could make a variant, of course. I think we might already be running a good variant. Yeah, maxed out anti-air armament. Of course, the reliability could do with boosting, and we've got lots of army experience right now, so let's do that, actually. Shouldn't cost a huge amount in terms of production efficiency. Oh, it did. It did cost quite a bit. We're getting lots of these lovely overruns because the Americans have been abandoned by their Soviet allies. Allies, you should sue for peace. Your allies have abandoned you, leaving you alone on the Eastern Front while we make great advances. Your every attempt to force through, even with your strategical and numerical advantage, has been to no avail. And now we got anti-air. Look at that, 40% and the enemy air superiority reduction. That's fantastic, and I think that's a flat reduction because 40. It's not normally. Just 40% higher than that. I think it might normally be 40% higher than that. Could I have phrased that more confusingly? I'm not sure that I could. What I mean is, the number is not always that plus 40%, as in like plus 40, and it happens to be a percentage. I think it... I'm going to start again. This number, I believe, the enemy air superiority, is usually more like minus 48%, which is not 40% higher than this. It's this number plus 40. I feel like I should just give up. It's beyond saving this particular explanation. Obviously, our land-based anti-air is substantially worse, although we are working on that. But look at our tanks. Enemy planes abound. Do they care? No, they don't. Attacking from one direction, attacking into forest, 0 damage. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. I think we might be in with a chance now. Okay. This guy's south. Losing an attack. Down here, right? Yep, fair enough. Right, so we're being invaded, but they're out of supply. So it's determined attack into these mountains will see them off. And are you gaining progress towards supply? What is it that gives you... It's the supply one? It's invader or commando? No, right. You have to be in bad temperatures for commando. That's right. Did we instantly win this one or instantly lose it? I guess didn't instantly win it, so... But there we go. Now they've got a supply penalty running out. They can't reorg at all. We'll be in great shape. Over here, we managed to we did the old switcheroo again. Oh, no, we didn't. These guys all died. Never mind. Well, we're still holding here, though. The Venezuelan divisions. We haven't sent any over here yet. Oh, that's why we were suddenly in such a big aluminium surplus, probably. We were importing it all from America. All right, half of you guys can come up here and help crush them out of their last bits. Once you get there, good. Okay, on the Soviet front... Keep it paused. We want to do this right. We want to make sure we get as many encirclements as possible. Take out these guys. Take out these guys. The tanks can press on. Minsk about to fall to us. Lovely. Back here. Back here. Of course, I mean, there's a lot of... I don't know if you've heard. Soviet Union's pretty big. There's a lot of way to go. And the fact they've fallen back means we're going to have to fight them in their core territory, but I don't know. I think it's promising. So the next test of our fortitude, can we cross a river against them? Oh, we can. So these are Canadian divisions, actually. No, they're Indian. We've got a whole bunch of Indian divisions defending against us here. Interesting. So you guys should cross with them. We've got more guys coming up from the behind to cover your asses. Okay. Lots of Indian divisions holding up here. Guess the Allies are a bit low on manpower, so fair enough that they would be deploying a bunch of Indians over here to try and cover for their lacking. India probably doing pretty well now. They've had a lot of time to beef up. Yeah, not bad, honestly. 80 factories. Obviously, loads of manpower, so they're fielding 112 divisions. Good lord. For a puppet? A colony, maybe? What are you now? You are... Yeah, colony. Doing pretty well. Pretty well. Alright, no, don't go in there. We're going to pocket both of those. Here, let's get that guy. Good. Here, I mean, just advance, honestly. It may be that the Americans have deployed a bunch more men to come this way. And what we should do is not advance while they arrive. And then finish them off, you know, in a kind of much heavier, much more casualty-inflicting defeat. But I think as long as we keep just doing little pushes like this, rather than big sweeping ones that take swaths of land. Is that how you say that word? Swaths of land, or is it swathes? Are those different words? I very often ask myself this question. Are those two words the same? Or are they just different words? Sorry, are those two the same word, or are they just the same word, but I've read it as one word and pronounced it as a different one? I'm not saying this like, oh, I'm so quirky. I know lots of people do that. Alright, this front line's a little strange. I can't seem to grab the right side of it. That's alright. Just manually control them. This is such a small region, it's quite easy to do. East, another pocket. Good. And here. Good. It can't be done, Christo. Give up. GG. I don't mean that to insult people that said that, but just to revel in the fact that it's not the case. It absolutely can be done. It will be done. Never bet against the count. Alright. Still looking fine on all other fronts. I know I'm checking other fronts a little frequently, but I just want to make absolutely sure that things aren't turning against us somewhere else while I'm focusing on the Allied front or on a different area of the Soviet front. Closing that, moving in nicely there. Good. Invasions repelled. Backstop established. We could make the backstop more specific. Like we could put some men here as well, since that's where I expect them to really come. You guys managed to resupply. Nice. I'm not sure how. If I go with the assumption you were from a previously light tank thing, I'm surprised we had enough supplies. Surprised we had enough medium tanks to do that, but not going to complain, that's for sure. Okay, good. Pinning there. Pocketed. Now actually attack in earnest. From both sides to advance there. And let's get Odessa, shall we? Marvelous. Okay, you guys. Yeah, just do a smaller pocket on this guy just to get it done. Marvelous. Look at that. Cutting through them. Soviets. It may look like the Soviets are just, oh, they've abandoned their front. Idiot AI. It's actually, I presume, and I'm quite confident in this, they haven't just sent the men away. There'll be somewhere here. There'll be a fallback line somewhere that they're deciding is more tenable than their current front line. And honestly, given the horrendous casualties I was inflicting on their old front line, I can't really blame them. Especially since, you know, of course, pulling back to their full territory. Although I doubt the AI factors this in, but the pulling back to their core territory is going to give them huge bonuses. As I've mentioned before, but I feel the need to mention frequently. Okay, so we're going to have to take one of these two tiles to actually get the pocket, which is going to be tough because there's lots of men here. Maybe just having arrived from overseas or something. When I say overseas, I just mean, you know, across the channel, but nevertheless. I mean, it is a sea, is it not? Well, it's not a sea, but it's part of the sea. I think we're going to try and take this one. It'll be much easier than pushing through that. Look at that. It's a lot of divisions. Struggling here because of the fort, giving them that crazy defense. Could try pushing here and then here instead. We built a fort in both tiles, unfortunately. But, I mean, still got decent attack. They're constantly having better intel than me, which really means me to think we do need to build. I believe radars help with intel. Why has that got such a huge range all of a sudden? It didn't have a range that big earlier, did it? Oh, I guess I was looking at it when it wasn't repaired. Right, get in there. Yeah, we are going to break them there. They're sending some reinforcements. Oh, look at that Indian unit skin. That's cool. Don't often see that in Belgium. And they don't appear to be responding nearly, you know, dramatically enough with these divisions. That is a darn fine pocket. That is a fighting force of the United States. The ones they put on the very front line. Just been pocketed. Marvelous. Let's try to control this without fixing the front lines, because they'll be much easier to fix once all these guys are dead. So we're going to try and push north to that port, which is their only source of supply now, apart from Eindhoven. Am I pronouncing that right? Eindhoven? I don't know, get this right. Belgian, not Dutch. Pronunciation is not what it could be. Okay, that's not going well. Don't do that. It's crossing a river with tanks. Crossing a major crossing with tanks. Never smart. Well, sometimes smart, but often not smart, I suppose, would be a less hyperbolic way of putting it. Alright, cut in there. Marvellous. How goes the east? You guys have standing on an empty pocket. Interesting. Let's fix that. Odessa pocketed. Many men in Odessa? Just the one, in fact. Good. Keep going. Meeting some Soviet resistance, but these are the these look like military police to me. They're probably not the actual fallback line that the Soviets are planning to defend here. Subject may soon raise its autonomy. Bulgaria. Oh no, Italy. Wow, yeah, they're real close. We didn't build in Italy, did we? We did manage to lower Bulgaria a bit. So Bulgaria, Hungary, and Italy need a little bit more. So Italy. Can I build synthetics in here? I wish they would invent synthetics so I could start building some in them. I mean, radar? No, they haven't invented that either. I guess we just build more mills. It's fine. There you go. And here and here and here and here. 3. That's probably enough. That many mills. Oil situation should be leveling out a bit. Now we're banging out a whole bunch more synthetic refineries. That's excellent. Infantry could just file along. Most of the tanks come up here. Try and cut in there. Another, you know, fort we built that we're now having to attack. That would be really hard to implement, but that would be really fun. You should get a bonus when attacking forts you built. Oh god. Yeah, the frontline situation is let them break in a bit here, but won't matter as long as this line here holds, which I'm very confident that it will. Alright, now Rotterdam from 3 angles. Nice. Okay. Get in there. You guys grab Eindhoven. Nice. There goes a bunch of their supply. Down to 22 now. Soon to plummet yet further once this tile breaks. Although it looks like it's resisting quite well. That is a dangerous naval invasion. But not really. They're invading Casablanca unsuccessfully. Oh, a bunch of our guys went to the... No! No! They're all trying to go back up the Venezuelans. Don't do that. Come back here. And let's put them slightly even more evenly spread along this coast. Please, no. Okay, planes. We have some of these guys spare. Protect them. We'll give it a go. Okay. So good. Still breaking them here. Slowly but surely. Excellent. Push them back to the river here. No problem. Oh, actually. 4th angle on Rotterdam. That's what I like to see. Obviously, this is a little bit dangerous because our whole unit is supplied by 1 tile, but there's not even anyone in the adjacent tile, so I'm not overly terrified at the prospects of an imminent pocket there. You are not very clever. He's marching in here. My headcanon for why the US AI is being so bad here is because the Soviets have some kind of masterful internal police strategy going on where they're hiding from the US. The fact they've actually withdrawn all their troops from the region. That's how I'm thinking of it. You guys have no order anymore. You're the Italians. That's why the Italians are getting so much progress. Right, we should not be using the Italians to push. So let's pull them back over here. And give them some training. Meanwhile, this army, which is doing some fighting, can nick their general. You can get chucked out of the unit order. You can go under the field marshal. And can grab that guy. There he is. Yes, I want to reassign him. Good. Marvelous. Okay. Oh no, they caught him there. Never mind. Just go behind him. It's also fine. Let's come in there. Great. Okay, so Rotterdam falls to us as it always would. It's just attacked from too many directions by too many men to not fall. And now we can annihilate the remaining men here, causing heavy damage to the Allied front line in the region. We are going to pull back the original front line. I'm still focusing on the Soviets, but I just saw an opportunity with that reorganization. It's like when I want to move my men from one front to another. You know, you think to yourself, if they attack me now, it's going to be bad. And it was bad. Obviously, we'll have to reorganize the front lines, but that's fine. Small price to pay for a whole bunch of dead Allied troops. Kiev about to fall to us. Nice. Is that our first major Soviet city to fall? No, Minsk. Minsk fell first. Okay. We're a little light on the front lines here. This one's not spreading very far north. So now there's essentially no one on the front line. I suppose we do something like this and say, you know, your plan is to win, and then just tell them to go at it. And then as soon as they meet the Soviet front line, we will cancel that plan. But until then, you know, you guys go buck wild, basically. We'll need to be very careful, because as these front lines pass places like the Crimean Peninsula... It's funny, I find it very hard thinking of this as Crimea rather than this. Played so much E4. But yeah, as soon as they meet any resistance, we'll turn these off. And I do want to finish these little pockets before I turn them on. Unassigned divisions, more Romanians. Romanians, of course, second largest Axis numbers in the Operation Barbarossa historically. So appropriate that they would contribute quite so many men. Less appropriate that they would all just go to defend ports, but still. Alright, so they're raiding our convoys, and we're going to lose most of these men. But on the bright side, we will be able to hopefully bring down some of the British ships as they do it, or at least damage them and put them out of commission for a little while. Okay, you guys go here. Since I've already won that one. Good, 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 good. That was an extreme show of dominance on that push there. That gives me great hope for the future. The fact that we were able to just annihilate them like that and force our way through. I have no faith that we could carry on doing that if they hadn't just reorganized and lost all their entrenchment, and if we were fighting in French soil rather than Belgian soil. But the fact we can do it in Belgium is good. You know, today in Belgium, tomorrow in France, that kind of thing. Ace, pilot promoted. Nice. Did we get one of them? Oh, nearly. Get him. He did 360% of the colony's health. Doesn't that seem a little harsh? I wonder if commanding units in... there is one that you get by doing out of supply, right? There's. I know it's not the one I looked at earlier, but one of them, right? Is it? No, you have to buy that one. Right, so you can't just grind the trait by putting them randomly out of supply. Fair enough. All right, they are trying to hold Kiev, apparently, with a... yeah, what looks like a unit the AI is using for military policing, but no matter. Got you. You guys are marching in the wrong direction. Got them there. Good, good. Okay, military policing time. The Soviets, they aren't pleased, apparently, about being occupied. So it's time to start up the military policing operation. We have some manpower right now. We're going to need a lot more military police than that if we're going to occupy the entire Soviet Union. Fortunately, they take almost no manpower the way I build them. So let's have them rush deploy over here to start with, and you can make your base over here now, because that's where you're likely to be needed. And how many do I need here? It's getting 0.3, which means I need 2. 2, please. Just to explain that, in case it's not obvious, getting one of these calves reduces it by 0.2 to 0.3. So next 0.2, you know, multiple above 0.3 is 0.4, so we need 2. Quick maths. I'm sorry. Alright, look at that. Allied casualties rise. 300,000 British troops dead over there now. I don't know what the Raj's casualties were before, but 400,000 seems pretty respectable to me. Do we fall back? Do we hold a new line? I think we fall back. A determined, unified Allied push would be very dangerous, and there's no need to fight it in this less easy to defend location. So let's fall back. You guys fall back. And do we fall back all the way? No, not straight away. Not unless we're made to. Let's try and hold on to these Belgian provinces that we fought so hard for. Vlaanderen we won't be able to hold on to, but Wallonie, we'd have to hold. Why do I have Wallonie occupied? Ah, right, because this province is the one for that. Well, we could try. We could try and hold this province. We could also put these overwhelming numbers on their border, and they probably wouldn't attack. We are in bad supply here, but that would get repaired. Look at the number of bombers being shot down. That's good. How many bombers have we shot down recently? Now, fighters lost did spike during that that conflict, but still, you know, we shot down a lot of enemy bombers too. Trading, you know, pretty much 1-to-1, which obviously we cannot even close to afford. You guys that I diverted should come back over here. You should go there. And actually, it's going so well. Let's stop using the air power just to try and recover some numbers for a while. We're down to how many planes now? 9,000. Oh my god. Lost about half our air force during that desperate defense for a while there. You guys can get some anti-air, please. And you guys can go in, the really good ones. Go and stand on the... Well... Yeah. Let's put these guys on, like, the kind of worst case front line. Which is if they push us back, they shouldn't be able to push us back further than this. So we'll put these 17 on that. So that if they're if things go really badly wrong, we retreat to there. And then the rest of them, we probably leave on the front. Not the light infantry. The light infantry... delete all these orders just to make it a bit easier to see. The light infantry can go here. On what we call the, you know, second worst case. And then the rest can just go on the front itself. So the tanks in the region. That's the easy way to select all the tanks in the region. Just box select and delete everything that isn't tanks. Can just stay on the front. You know, if we can... we're actually not controlling Vlaanderen right now. I'm tempted to push to control Vlaanderen. There's lots of civs in there. And civs are what we need right now. Saying civs are what we need right now. Why are we building mills in our puppets? Well, I don't know. Because the mills will be more useful to them than civs. And while we do get some of their factories, we don't get all of them. So you, sir, can have a front line. And the other army of anti-air kitted out guys can get a front line. And the whole army on the front. And who else was it? Sorry. You already all on the front. Good. Alright, places, everyone. Places. Looks like we are going to be able to take Brussels here, which is excellent. So these guys, not all of them have the anti-air, but some of them getting a little bit of a breakthrough bonus from having that. Let's not take that. It would just create a horrible border if we took Brussels. Tempting as it is. We'll content ourselves with remaining in control of Wallonie, getting all these civs. It's a fantastic number of civs there. That's right, it's Wallonie that had all the civs. It was Brussels had the mills and the dockyards. That's right. Okay, so I'm going to call it a part here. Pockets being established on the Eastern Front. The Soviet army nowhere to be seen, cowardly, hiding behind their lines. And in the next episode, we'll hopefully maintain this new front in Brussels after the heavy casualties we inflicted establishing it. And, you know, we didn't take very heavy casualties. About 100,000 maybe in that offensive. We killed a hell of a lot more than that. Of course, we can't afford to take casualties at the same rate as we deal them out. Soviet manpower, now they've pulled back, has had time to actually mobilize up a bit. Yep. So that'll make them harder to push through when we next get to them. But that will have to wait until the next episode. Until then, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon.